Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, before I say anything else, let me make sure this is working. Oh my god. Hello, me? Hello, me? Ah, there you go. Hello. Right back at you, buddy. Hey, hello, friends. Hello, friends. Mauricio, Maximilian, hello. No matter the stream, we can't escape the Victorian era with Ham. Not that I mind. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Oh, that's true. And if you include Frostpunk as well, yep. Victorian era. I never thought about that. Yeah. Frostpunk is the Victorian era. I guess that's my theme. We stare at maps of the Victorian era only. Hope you guys are doing good. Nice to see you. Yeah, so we are continuing. We are continuing Anno 1800. So let's load up our game here. Our character, I am Hamcuts. All right. Now the one thing about this game is you can't pause the progression of time. You can pause the game, so we can be like this, but we can't look at our run without the game starting to run. I get why they do that, and I think it adds a great element to the game, but there's moments like this where it's kind of annoying. But here we go. All right, let's dive in. Let's dive right back in there and see what's going on. So, where do we find ourselves? We have a second island. And we got hops and red pepper here. That's going to be very important for us. We got grapes. That's also good. But we haven't started really utilizing it yet. So, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, full of output storage. Really? Let's take a look at what we got going on here. So, yeah, we've got a ton of wool. Is there anybody that will buy this wool off of us? So we got trade rights with this person. She offers wool. No trade rights. This guy only wants coal. This guy only wants potatoes and soap. Well then, we should make another work clothes. We're gonna need like 50 farmers for it. Ah, jeez. Another 50 farmers. Where's our other wool people?
Hide the bottle. It's the bottle.
What brings you here, master?
What brings you here, master? I'm looking for where I placed my clothes makers.
Not much left to do today.
Oh, God, I know I put them around here. We got the schnapps. We got those guys. We got the trade union. Oh, here they are.
Better check on my little ones.
Oops. Nope. So let's, oh, we lowered the productivity. I wonder why we did that. Yeah, so start making more of that stuff for us. Alright, now we started getting some iron. And we're trying to make steel beams. So this is going to make us some steel. Oh, we don't have anything making the steel beams. Though, I will admit I don't remember exactly why we needed it. Alright. We do have a lot of bricks. And so, having brick roads will help all these carts and everything move faster. So, I would like to get these paved. So we can get all these resources closer to us. There we go. You know, it's funny you mentioned Frostpunk. Now that we haven't done it for a few weeks, I'm starting to miss it. I'm starting to miss Frostpunk, too. We might go back to that at some point. There's supposed to be a DLC coming, but judging by how late they were with, and how much they went over their deadline, technically, or not technically, but kind of, for getting it to console, and that there's been no mention of the DLC other than the announcement earlier in the year, I'm not holding out hope at the moment. Alright, so this soap is something that we could use. So how are we on pig farms here? Boy, we got like 45 of them. See, if we make a ton of soap, we can sell it to the prison. Oh, maybe this is why I was making the steel. To build this, we need those steel beams. But we need 200 workers. Ah, jeez. I'm so used to hitting escape from in Victoria 3 to get out of buildings that... Alright, so we're losing workers. Why are we losing workers? That's not good. Alright, so let's build more houses. How do you move things? Copy, relocate. Yeah, move that over one. There we go. Now build us a road. There we go. Alright, so we're getting farmers, and we want to immediately... Well, we can't immediately, but upgrade these guys. We can upgrade you. Now let's make sure... Hey, Sharky Boy! Hello, hello! Welcome in. Welcome back, welcome back. How you doing? Hope all is well. We have no bread. Oh, what's the point of this little windmilly guy? A bakery. So you don't have grain. Why don't you have the grain? Wait, what? They need grain for bread. Oh. Wait, so... Why are we making flour? I thought we needed the flour for the bread. What is happening? What is happening here? Urban people think windmills make bread. No. No, I knew it didn't make bread, but it made an input good. See, it had... It has this kind of progression here. Oh, I guess maybe I assumed you needed the flour because of the way this looked. Do we not? You have a bakery. Yeah, we have the bakery. Oh my god, the escape button. Killing me. Yeah, so here's our bakery. But it looks like we only need the grain, which we're getting from the farm. This is making flour, but then what is flour the input for? I'm noticing here on the tooltip, it doesn't tell me what the input good for the bakery is. All right, so let's turn off the flour mill, because that's probably why the bakery's not getting any grain. We must have a ton of flour now. Wonder if we can trade that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we got a lot of flour. So I guess we got to unlock that or something. Oh yeah, weapons. That's also why I wanted the furnace. I'm doing good. I don't know if it's just me, but 1.10 is a massive letdown. Oh, I don't know if there is bug fix team and content team, but the lack of bug fixes and or quality of life changes really let me down. So yeah, I haven't run into bugs yet, but I've mainly been doing my main runs have been the one that I'm doing with Serbia on the stream. And then I've had a couple false starts so far offline, but more to your point, I am surprised with the hot fixes. It doesn't seem like there's a lot that they fixed in the hot fixes. Usually, the week of a DLC release, those hot fixes are like filled with stuff. Like you remember Charters of Commerce, there's a ton, and they've had 2 hot fixes this week, and they were both kind of like, yeah, we tweaked some stuff. That was kind of interesting. The gimmick for Montenegro run is early army buffs, useless early game, and infamy decay, useless late game. Oh, interesting. I haven't see. I want to do a video series of Montenegro, but I haven't dived fully into it yet. So that's their thing. Early army buffs. Early army buffs and then infamy decay later on. Yeah. Interesting. But I've been seeing a lot of people posting about a lot of the bugs they've been running into. Which makes me surprised that the hotfixes have been very thin. Maybe there's some holiday in Sweden this week? But if there is, it would make you wonder, well, why did they schedule a DLC release now? I've been...
It's all prepared.
I've been enjoying it. I have to say, though, it does seem a lot more difficult.
Anything I can do, anything, really. Imagine it.
So, I'm doing an offline run with Austria just because I want to see the content. And it's very interesting, like, so one of the first journal entries to, what is it called? God, I can't even remember the name of it. But I need to get rid of the crown lands in order to activate another journal entry. So I need to get Hungary's liberty desire down, and because of all the cultural fervor stuff now, it's hard. It's hard to get the liberty desire down. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's much more difficult than it was before. The lack of send to top of queue shift click. Wait, there's a problem with that? I feel like I've been doing that. Debt cap exploit still exists. War rev repeat sound. Oh god, yeah, that is getting annoying. So I've noticed there's that sound, and then there's that clicking sound with the instrument that people use in war. I feel like on YouTube you can't say that. I need to look at what you actually can and can't say. But there's that clicking sound that when there's an event that pops up, I feel like that sound replays when you go out of the map and then back in, and that's really annoying too. Yeah, the sound repeats. That I am getting. Can't start play for a subject's return state. Yeah, that's true. I haven't had to test that yet, but I've been hearing that's bugged as all hell. No way to see net migration, army pollution, and more. Maximilian. Whiny people stream. In my day, we had bugs and we were happy we had them.
Use it constructively.
A bug is a gift.
Look after everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been enjoying the DLC. I do like it. I feel like though I sometimes I do admit I'm not a good judge. I'm biased. I love the game. So any addition to it I kind of enjoy. If it doesn't break the game to the point where I can't start the game anymore, then I probably am going to enjoy it. Absolutely. I whine about the economy and cost of living mostly. Yeah. Now, it must be qualified. Do you mean in real life or in Victoria 3?
We've run out of cabins.
Yeah, why are these guys just like producing nothing here? Do I need to raise your productivity? I love that you can raise the productivity of this grain farm, like What are they like going out into this field and looking at the plants and be like, grow faster, grow faster. The game player needs more productivity.
This is the way the farmers fight hobbledy.
Oh my god, I forgot you were still up there. Get out of here. In real life, of course, you too have first world problems. No offense. Oh no, believe me. I have economy and standard of living complaints myself. Everything in the United States is massively expensive. Nobody's getting paid well. Everything sucks. That's why I come here, to see how bad people had it in the Victorian era. The DLC is great. The lack of anything that's not content related upsets me, yeah. But worth $10, don't get me wrong. Just going in blind, I guess I was too hopeful. Sorry to talk about Vic 3 in your Anno stream. No, it's totally fine. So far, every Anno stream, we end up just talking about Victoria 3. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I guess we should have just played Victoria 3.
We can't shut the storeroom door.
It would be kind of cool if there was, like, a mechanic in Victoria 3, though, to, like, go into your city and micromanage it like this. I mean, I don't actually want to do that, because there's enough to deal with in that game, but... you know, that would be a thing.
Sweet as honey.
Alright, we need, like, 200 workers and not farmers. So, this is going to be a massive upgrade. I find it interesting in this game, though, that, like, these are available workforce, and so unemployment doesn't really seem to bother anybody in this world. I understand and sympathize with you, but I don't see you trying to sneak into a cargo boat to get back to Algeria. Point is, Americans are really well off compared even to other developed places. This is why, despite agreeing with you, I think people judged the previous administration way harshly. The inflation wasn't that bad in comparison to other countries in the world. It's all relative. Yeah, I mean, so I'll say this. I mean, yeah, I'm not sneaking back over to Algeria. I think the main luxury in the United States has always been stability. I mean, my family lived through the Algerian Civil War. We lost people close to us because of it. And so the fact that, you know, we're not going to outright just suddenly have a civil war, you know, knock on wood. But, you know, unlike my family members in Algeria, I never had to live with the fear of we can't go outside because there's people on the streets with guns. So there is that luxury. But I also do find there is this kind of view of the United States that, like, we're a rich country, so everybody is very well off. And it is a rich country, but it's not a country where wealth is evenly distributed. There are many people struggling here. Many people. But there's this view of, like, yeah, but you're in the United States, everything is fine. Everything is fine in the sense of, you know, we're not living in a place like Ukraine and suddenly the Russians are coming and invading us. So we're free from military conflict on our home soil, but that doesn't mean everybody's well off. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm living like a poor life, but, you know, I am living paycheck to paycheck, and my paychecks are very easily lost on a drop of a dime. So everything is slowly getting more and more expensive. There's a big gap that's just getting worse and worse in the United States. This idea that the U.S. is a rich country, so everybody is well off, I think is I think is a fallacy, and I think is a narrative the United States promotes out into the world because it makes it seem like, oh, you're doing really well because everybody here is well off, and that's not the case. It'd be cool to have it, but not fun to micro. Yeah, right. It's cool. That idea is cool in theory, but then when you got to do it, you're like, oh man, automate. You mean Chicago? Yeah, Chicago. People on the streets with guns. That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's true. There are places like that, right? And the U.S. is a great place for some, but for others, it's a big struggle. So, now that being said, I live in one of the biggest cities in the world, and it's going to come with the added thing of cost. But it does. But this is something nationwide that, like, there's a growing gap between the people who have money and the people who don't. And I wouldn't say everybody here is doing fine. I mean, put it to you this way. I forget the name of the organization. This is going back maybe like 10 years now, but it's still the case. There's an organization that goes into like third world countries and delivers healthcare to places that don't have it. And there's one time they came to Los Angeles because they were like, there is an apparent lack of healthcare here for basic health needs. And there were lines going for like blocks and blocks and blocks for people to see this organization because that's how bad some people are hurting. Oh yeah, most people in the U.S., Greece and so on, are living hand to mouth, even well-educated like my family. But I sympathize more with my friend here from Indonesia, Argentina. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I know, and that's the thing, is like there are oh hey, Sharky Boy, thank you for becoming a member, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Very cool. Thank you very much. Well appreciated. Yeah, exactly. There is always a place in the world that is doing worse off, right? Like yeah, I'm sure the people in North Korea are doing worse, but it's like just the fact that there are people worse off than you in the world doesn't mean that you are doing well. You know what I mean? So there's still a place to recognize that. And I don't know, in some ways, like, I think it should be recognized that it's one thing if you live in a place where there isn't wealth, and that's the reason why everybody's doing poorly. And it's a different thing in a place where there is wealth, there is resources, and they're just not allowing people to have it, you know? And I think there is a place to complain about that. The real gap is the haves and the have-nots in the world. Not between Americans and Algerians, yeah. But you have to admit, there's a privilege to where you live as well, aside from your property class. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I've been saying that my whole life, especially, growing up and living over here while my family was living through the civil war in Algeria. Like, and even during, Trump's first presidency, when people were like, this is authoritarianism. And I'm like, you don't actually know what authoritarianism is. You have not lived through that. My family can tell you about that. But there's a certain privilege to it, absolutely. But that doesn't mean everybody here is well off. There are many people here who are well off, but not many people who aren't. North Korea has the best healthcare system in the developing countries, although you can criticize them for everything else. I'd rather have an operation in Korea than Mexico. Well, actually, it's funny you mention that. Mexico has an excellent healthcare system. There are many people in the United States who cross the border into Mexico to have procedures because they have universal healthcare and they have very good healthcare. Now, Mexico is suffering in many, many other ways. But there's a lot of Americans who go there for big surgeries. I don't relate to the paycheck to paycheck thing. If I'm being honest, I am very privileged. Sad in this day and age of wealth, like 30 to 60% or so of Americans live in that situation. Yeah. Um, so, like, I'm an adjunct professor. And so basically, I get paid, like, per class that I teach. But the whole
Show me how strong your values are.
um,
What are you resisting?
the whole system of like being an adjunct professor is like we don't have to offer you benefits, we don't have to offer you anything, you literally just get paid for your class. And there's also no job security. Luckily I haven't, it's been a few semesters since I've had this situation, but if people don't sign up for your class, they cancel the class. And I've had it happen before where I have a class canceled the day before the semester starts, and now I've lost a quarter of my income for the next 4 months, and I just got to figure that out. And there's no job security. I was teaching at two schools here in the city. One of them, get this, I'd been teaching there for 10 years, 10 years, and they were lowering my class load. Finally, I didn't get any classes, and I was trying to log into my email to contact somebody in the department. I couldn't log in, and I contact the IT department to find out, well, why can I not log in? They come back to me, they're like, oh, well, you're listed as terminated. And that's how I found out I had been let go. Because there's no job security, they don't have to do anything for you, unlike what a full-time regular employee does. And so we have this situation here in the United States where basically adjunct college professors are considered the working poor, because you get paid absolutely nothing, you get no benefits, and you have no job security. But in order to get a full-time job at a university, you need to first get in by doing adjunct professor work. And so, you know, people will be like, oh, you're a college professor, you must be doing so well. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not, I get paid enough, but I don't know if that's going to be the case every 3-4 months. I need to find out if I'm still going to have a job, Yeah, Mexico has a better healthcare system than the US. Yeah, I know. You get paid per class. There goes my dream of making a quick 5-year stop in the States to gather cash. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and you have to do the adjuncting in order to get your foot in the door, in order to get the full-time position. But on top of that, universities are cutting back on full-time professor positions so much because they know they can just hire adjuncts and pay them nothing, instead of having a full-time professor. So full-time professor positions are drying up across the board, and yet the universities are not lowering the amount that they're charging for tuition. So all of these, administrators and presidents of universities are just making more and more money at these quote-unquote non-profit institutions, while all the professors are just losing their jobs and getting replaced by adjuncts who get paid absolutely nothing. I'm in college for a finance degree. I've never had a job. My parents are covering my expenses. I'm thankful for it, but also feel guilty for it as well. I wouldn't feel guilty about that. The thing is, you use the resources that you have available to you. And it's a luxury that your family is able to support you like that. But I think you shouldn't... It's good that you recognize that that's a luxury. But I also feel like it's not helpful to anybody else to be like, I don't want to use this resource that I have. I'm not going to take any money from family. Part of the reason why your parents work so hard is to be able to do that for you, And I also think people who don't have that luxury aren't being like, you shouldn't do that. So that's a resource and you should utilize it, So I don't think you should feel guilty for it. And I commend you. I think it's good that you recognize that that is a privilege and a luxury you have. Because I know many people who don't, When I was... You know, I work in the theater, and when I finished grad school, I had to move back in with my parents because I couldn't get a position at a university right away. And I had friends who were like actors and stuff who had some temp work they were doing here and there. But I remember one friend of mine um, was like, you know, you just gotta bite the bullet and just move into the city because I really wanted to move into New York so I could start, you know, getting my feet on the ground here. They're like, oh, you just gotta move, you just gotta do it, you just gotta jump in and do it. And I'm like, yeah, but what happens at the end of that first month when the rent bill comes? Like, how do I pay it? She's like, you'll figure it out. And there was a long period of time after grad school I felt bad because, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, all these other artists I know are, like, making it work. They're living in the city. They're going on their auditions or doing whatever they need to do. It took me a while until I got older to realize, oh, those people are... their parents are covering their rent. But they never recognized that. My friend was looking at me like, you just gotta figure it out. You just gotta figure it out. Like, it would have been a different situation if she was like, you know, well, you know, my parents are covering my rent, so I have that luxury, so maybe you can get something like that. So it's good, I think, to recognize that, because I think there's many people who don't recognize it. But the amount of money they give you is enough to cover your expenses plus some basic luxuries. So that technically means you also live allowance to allowance, right? Yeah, that's true, right? Like, you're not getting luxuries out of it. You can, in the future, repay your parents. Irfan, hey, hello, first off. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, exactly, right? You can repay them.
Workforce shortage.
And someday I will. Someday I will. Are you 45, Malaka? I am Greek. There's no shame living off your parents if you're not older than 40. Yeah. You do what you have to do. Obvious joke with some national self-sarcasm. The best repayment you can do to your parents is having a good life and not bothering them. Also take care of them and not throw them to the retirement home. No worthy parent should ask cash back. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in the end, it's like they just want to see you do well, you know, and fix their computer every now and then. That's what I gotta do. That's how I repay them. I forgot about that. I am their tech person. In fact, my brother works in IT. My brother is a tech person. And yet I am the person who gets the call every single time there's like a problem with the computer. Because I'm the tech person. They give me enough to cover expenses. Yeah, I live with my mom and commute to college in part to save her money. Not the only reason, but it's a big one. I think that's, yeah. I think that's great. I think the living at home to save expenses thing is heavily underrated. I think when you're younger, there's this want to just like be on your own at any expense because it means something. And looking back, I'm like, if you can live at home, do it. If you can, it's a good situation. Your parents don't mind it. Like, you know, until you can get yourself situated. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So you're basically living allowance to allowance, just don't work for it yet. Yeah, but also, you know, the school is a full-time, you know, affair. So yeah. So yeah, in Ham's situation, the best repayment he can do to his parents is make sure his children are healthy, make it to college, if they don't like that, at technical school. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's also how I repaid my parents. I gave them grandkids. That's all they really wanted. So there you go. Ooh. Ooh, workforce, workforce. All right. Um. All right, let's wait for some people to move in. Yeah, I am not reliant on a job, but instead their support. So you could see it as an allowance to allowance thing. Yeah, but I think it's different when you're a student. Like you are working a full-time job. Being a student is a full-time job, you know? So that situation is a little different. And I think not accumulating debt or not asking a family member to pay an expense that isn't necessarily needed, aka like living in your own apartment when it's not needed, you live within commuting distance, I think is a more responsible thing to do. It's a sacrifice to make. Nobody wants to live at home with their parents, but I think the fact that you do that instead of trying to be like, you know, wasting the money to live on your own in an apartment when you're within commuting distance, I think that's a much more responsible thing to do. So yeah, you are by no means wealthy. Your parents might be though, but not you personally, unless you have other sources of income or property. Yeah. And as it is, I have a college fund that I'm saving. This is what's so crazy about the United States too. I am simultaneously right now contributing money to a college fund for my kids while I'm paying my student loans back. It's just a funny situation where it's like I'm saving for somebody else's college while I'm still trying to pay my college off. I get a few dollars a month from YouTube memberships, so I'm super wealthy from that emotionally. Yeah. I'm kind of wealthy if you consider my investment amount. That could dry up in maybe a few months. Oh, that's good though. See, I wish I had investments. I did that while I was in school. I didn't really start learning about that until after school was over. And looking back, I'm like, if only I just put some money, a little bit of money into the market while I was a student and just left it there. Now that you've mentioned, I advise people to live with parents, but I left home at 19. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I left home for undergrad when I was 18 to live on campus. But my school was a good distance away from home, but not so far that I couldn't come home when I needed to. But my school was also very, very cheap. And then when I started grad school, it was Columbia, so it was up here in the city. So I really did need to get an apartment, but I lived in the Columbia graduate student housing. And also when I was in undergrad, you know, I was an RA for a couple years, which covered the cost of room and board. Although I moved on to an apartment my mother owned in Athens, so I didn't have to pay rent. Oh, that's nice. See, that's cool. Where did you study initially, Ham? It's a college in New Jersey called Kane University. So it's a small state school, and so because it was in state, I don't know how it is elsewhere, but most states in the United States, if you're a resident of that state, you get a cheaper tuition at the state colleges, and then if you're from out of state, you pay a little bit more. So it was a state college, so the tuition was pretty cheap for me. Yeah, Maximilian, I am much more thankful than guilty. I think a little bit of guilt is beneficial overall. I'm not obsessed or stressed over it. Most of it is just empathy for people who are worse off. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I mean, that's kind of the story of our generation is that I mean, there was a time when you could leave high school and get a job with a high school degree, and now that is not the case anymore. You need undergraduate schooling
We're taking
just to have
Ep2.
pretty much the equivalent of what a high school degree used to give you. I did my bachelor's at the University of Piraeus. Oh, okay. And was that closer or far from where you lived? Did you have to move away, or did you get to do the commuting thing? It's a good thing, you know, that even if I become wealthy, I think it's important to make sure your neighbor does not covet your wealth, that there's a safety net for everyone. Yeah, oh, I totally agree with that. Master's, bachelor's, high school degree. Oh yeah, yeah. Master's equals a bachelor's. Yeah, and a bachelor's equals a high school degree. Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. And that sucks because a high school diploma is free. So you used to be able to get a basic free education, an education that could get you a job. Now, in order to get a job, you have to go to a schooling that costs money. 30 minutes by bus. Okay, so not so bad. Compared to my parents' generation in Greece, I assume it's the same there. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, now you need to get an undergraduate degree just to get basic entry-level employment, and it's just... I find that to be outrageous. Because colleges cost money. So you can't just get a free high school diploma and do it. Everything costs money. Alright, we're actually going to need another one of these guys now. You know what? Yeah, we'll put it here. And then little road there. So since we're building this, yeah, we can lower the productivity for you guys. My grandparents had university degrees in the middle of World War II. Wow. And the Greek Civil War. Oh my god. That is... I commend them to no end for that. I can only imagine. Classic Sharky moment. Watching a ham stream to professionally procrastinate on my homework. There you go. There you go. I'm glad I'm helping you procrastinate. Sometimes you need a good procrastination. It is Friday. You deserve it. What is your homework? You know, I love too you're getting a finance degree. And when you're not, and for fun, what you're doing is playing Victoria 3. Very well played. No warehouse in range.
You need a warehouse, you do.
Oh, that's why. Alright, let's move you over slightly.
There'll be potholes, so watch out.
There we go. Dr. Francia, the perpetual dictator of Paraguay, was one of the three contemporaries who had a PhD in Paraguay in the early 19th century. Yeah, I love playing as Paraguay, and so I've always found that person interesting, that he's this doctor who's also a kind of dictator. Kind of like Assad in Syria, the ophthalmologist or optometrist. One of those. How are we doing now on... Do we have those steel beams? Yeah, we got like 25 of them. Alright, so now... Oh yeah, but we don't have the workforce. Okay. It's for my global cultures class, which is basically an African culture class. It's 4 to 5 assignments every week about slavery, capitalism, and decolonization. Wow, that's an intense class, I bet. He's a liberal dictator who, despite being very liberal, fanatical, secular, and progressive, he also loved authoritarianism. Yeah, and the most shocking aspect of all, is an isolationist. Although that can be, yeah. I remember doing some reading up on him for one of the second stream I ever did was Paraguay. So I did some reading up on him before that one started. Three-sentence response to TED Talks and documentaries, plus 3 comments on what my peers stated. Oh, interesting. Okay. So you really have to pay attention to what everybody's talking about. Although that can be attributed to Paraguay's secession from the Rio de la Plata and being landlocked. Yeah. Alright. Do we have the clothes yet? Alright, let's take a look here. What is going on with clothes? So the blue is the demand, the green is the supply.
One final look.
Hey, bankruptcy.
After all, papers are for drumming up support.
Spend, spend, spend. Let's see, can we... Is there any change to what they want? Bread, soap, and sausages. Actually, how are we on sausages? So we do have a little bit. So I need to figure out how this screen works more. So the productivity of sausages is a little down. Sort by profits. Production over time. I guess we're like 5 minutes ago. Okay, so we're like right on par. But why do we have 98% productivity? Did we lower it?
It's a surprise inspection.
The slaughter. Oh, no. I always click that
We're
one.
on tenterhooks.
Let's see. Affects the bakery with a new input. What? Oh. Oh, that's why. Oh, we don't need to... Okay. So because the trade unions has this baker in there, we can just send the grain directly to the bakery. That's why I built this initially. But it turns out we don't need it. Okay. Not fun, and it's the class that takes up the majority of all of my time spent on out-of-class work. I watch the 30 to 2-hour videos at 3 times speed with subtitles on. Oh my god. Oh yeah, the TED... I guess, yeah, TED Talks could be... Oh my god, that long sometimes. Oh hey, reverse ham cuts. Bye, bye, bye. Hello, hello, hello. Sounds fun to me because I like history and stuff. I understand not everyone sees it the same. I think it's different, though, when you have to do something, like, for a class. Like, you have to do it, meaning you have to get it done by a certain point. That changes it than if you're just, like, watching something for fun, you know? Did you copy our flag? I consider France one of the most fascinating... Oh, Francia. One of the most fascinating leaders in 19th century America. Hmm. Yeah. Latin America was full of caudillos and braggart military leaders. Then in Paraguay, there was this erudite lawyer, a lover of Rousseau, who acted as supreme, while at the same time being invisible. Yeah. Isn't that fascinating? Especially, yeah, at the time, it's just a bunch of, like, military, like, dictators and authoritarians, and then here you have a doctor. How did you pronounce Rousseau? I don't know. Rousseau? Is it pronounced differently? Rousseau? You said it different before. Oh, did I? Probably. I mean, I don't know if anybody has noticed, but that is the theme of this channel. I stare at maps and mispronounce things. You should, I probably shouldn't point it out, but you should, if Ham were a dictator, he would monopolize Pizza Hut. First of all, I am a New Yorker. I have no problem with things like Pizza Hut. In fact, I've been to a Pizza Hut before. But if I had my choice of pizza place, it would not be a Pizza Hut. I am a little bit of a pizza snob. Alright, so what are we trying to get to now? Yeah, we want this. Oh, we have the workforce now. Okay. Oh, is this one of those things, though, that's gonna... Yeah, it lowers attractiveness of housing. So... maybe we try to keep it over here. All right. All right. We're at the hour mark here, so we're gonna take a quick break. Pay homage to the gods of ads, so nobody misses anything. Oh, this. All right. So quick 90 seconds, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back, and we're back. In this great nation of ours, every American citizen should have pizza. 3 pizzas per person. That's a promise. Enlightened Despot Ham 2030. That's right. No, what Enlightened Despot Ham would do is he would outlaw some of the things around the country that are parading as pizza. Like, no offense to any people from Chicago on the stream, but your pizza ain't pizza. This is what I take a hard stance on. This is the hill I will die on. I've heard there's something called Detroit pizza. I'm sorry to tell you there is not. There are people from Connecticut that say they have the best pizza in the tri-state area. You do not. I was waiting for some smart policy. Deep dish would finally be illegal. Instead, it would be called pie. Yeah, no, deep dish. It looks like a very good casserole. That's what it is. It is a casserole. But just don't call it pizza. They've assimilated you. That's, yeah. I would say that's more of a New Yorker thing. A New York, New Jersey thing. Being snobbish with pizza. I recognize it, but I'm still going to do it.
Like a frog on a lily pad, I is.
What? Frog on a lily pad. Okay, so now we need to make the soap factory. So we need to convert more of these workers. Because we need 50 workers. There we go. All right. Now we got that. And we got the pig
We
farm
put our love into this.
somewhere. Oh yeah, here we go. The pig farm. Yeah, look at that. I should move the pig farm out here. New York, the new capital of the USA. It was the capital at one point. We were the capital at one point. Anyway, did you actually copy our flag? I think, the flag for Uruguay. Yes, it was. New York was the capital, albeit a very short-lived time, but it was the capital. Philadelphia was the capital as well, yes, but so was New York. In fact, yes, that's exactly what I thought. We were the capital. I had to verify this. George Washington was inaugurated in the capital of the United States, New York City. How is New York the capital when it spent most of the revolutionary time under British military occupation? I mean, this was after the war ended, so it was no longer occupied. And you know, it makes sense. Every single most people you see play Victoria 3 end up moving the capital to the United States because it's makes more sense economically. But yeah, when George Washington was inaugurated, he was inaugurated in the capital, New York City. Just asking, I like Uruguay because they have our flag. Thank you. I like Greece too. The barbecue there looks really good. Tell me, if someone came up to you and said they were Turkish, would would a live fight break out? I don't socialize with Turks. Oh boy. Alright, so how are we doing now? Alright, we can take this off of here. I want to keep track of soap. We have very few schnapps, it looks like. Just kidding, we are mostly cool. Stay out of Cyprus, though. Tell me, when are you going to claim the title of Eastern Rome and recover Byzantium? I know Maximilian wants me to do a Byzantium run in any Paradox game on here. Once Romania stops existing, who stole our name? Maybe that'll be the first EU5 run. Byzantium. Byzantium equals Rome. Wait, do we have a school? Ooh, no, I don't think we do. Why did we never build one? Here we go. Yeah, we'll put a school right here. Actually, maybe we'll do it like this. Yeah, perfect. And then a police station. Oh, what are we missing? Oh, the upgrade cost. Alright. But we're in the positive there. So waiting for a Roman run in Crusader Kings Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron. Europa Universalis. So Imperator Rome still Stellaris. Ooh, okay. So any of them, you'll take any of them. Add Surviving Mars to the list. Ham, if I ever went to the US, which states should I go to? I thought in this order: Texas, New York, Washington, and California. There's some in New England that look nice, like well, Maryland isn't in New England, but Maryland is nice also. But those are some great places, yeah. Texas, New York, Washington, California. I would also, I mean, it depends on if you're also interested in like American history. Philadelphia, as much as New York and Philadelphia have such a rivalry, Philadelphia is a great place for Revolutionary War history and also just architecture of the time. They've preserved a lot of buildings there. Yeah, and you know, I was gonna say Los Angeles, but you have California on there. But yeah, for New England, you mainly want to go to Boston. None. Washington, D.C. only, which is not a state. None? You're saying you wouldn't want to go to any place in America other than Washington, D.C.? DC is a fun place to go to, but DC is more about seeing like the current government and its stuff, and like there's monuments and stuff like that, but there's not as much like history to see. Like history, you want to go to like Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. DC is fun to go to just because of all the like memorials there, and you can see the like Capitol building and stuff like that. I would like to see it in CK3. A Greek run in Vic 3 is sufficient. You don't have to form the empire. Yeah, I think actually, I mean, we've now done 2 consecutive runs in Europe, so I'm probably going to go away from Europe for a couple runs. But I think the next time we go back to Europe, we'll be doing Greece. Because I think Greece would be a fun run. Boston looks pretty cool. The countryside of those states looks interesting too. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess if you want to see like countryside and stuff. Man, yeah, like where would you go for countryside? I mean, seeing the Great Plains is cool. Like my mom's family is from North Dakota, and so it's a beautiful place to go to. But you could make a trip of it. Like you would go look at, you go look at like the plains and stuff. I guess you could go to South Dakota and see like the town of Deadwood. They've preserved that fairly well, and that's kind of an experience there. And then you can swing by the Mount Rushmore. legitimately, outside DC, everything else is subpar. Oh, please. All the best museums and monuments are there. Nope. And the transit system is the only one that is on par with Europe and not worse than Africa. No. I'm sorry, my friend. You are just absolutely wrong on that one. First of all, the DC Metro is small. I mean, it's fine, but it's not like a major subway system. The New York City subway system is like one of the oldest ones in the world. One of the only ones in the world that operates 24 hours a day. And I mean, obviously DC has some great national museums, but New York has some excellent museums. Some of the best ones in the world, I would say. First of all, the Natural History Museum here is excellent. I take my kids there all the time. And it's fantastic. And I've been to many history museums. I love going to history museums when I go to places, and New York still has one of the best ones I've ever been to. So DC plus Milwaukee to see Giannis. And then Green Bay for the cheese and crackers, beer and Packers. Oh my god, my friend. You would be a travel agent's dream for a US vacation because they know nothing would be sold out for where you want to go. Only 2 places in the US I want to go. Washington, D.C. and Milwaukee. It's definitely a trip. I mean, D.C. is definitely worth going to. I love D.C. And there's a lot to see there. I'm sorry to tell you, but Milwaukee, not so much. Other than Giannis. And in Greece, they say Athens is overrated. But if I wanted to go to Greece, I would probably go see the Pantheon, and then I would see the other less mainstream cities. I was referring to New York's transit system. Your subway is awful. If you disagree, the National Guard there should change your mind. Well, then, so tell me, what's bad about the New York City subway system? I have a lot of things to complain about with the New York City subway system. I don't think there are any of the things that you would complain about. So tell me, what would you say are the bad things about the New York City subway system? Oh, there's our little police station. Oh, the Parthenon. Yeah, the Parthenon. Pantheon is in Rome. Yep, there you go. Alright. Can we build this thing yet? Ooh. Yeah, we need to sell some stuff. If only we could make more soap. See, kids? Hamcus 13 is also culture. That's right. That's what we do here. We stare at spreadsheets and culture. I've never been there, but from friends, it's the train delay, and from picture a crumbling infrastructure that looks third world. Also, I've seen funny videos of homeless men defecating in the subway. Well, first off, the New York City subway is one of the largest subway systems in the world. So I don't think any 5-second YouTube video will give you an accurate depiction of the subway system. Now, this is true. There are delays quite often, but I mean, there's delays everywhere. I went to London, and their subway system had delays. Also, you know, it's one of the only subway systems where You pay one small fare to get on, and you can ride the whole system. London subway system looks beautiful. It's very clean. But I remember when I got there, they were like, how many zones do you need to go through? And I was like, zones? I don't know. In New York, you pay one price to get on,
Your leadership.
and you could go anywhere in the city. Secondly, I went to the London for the subway system, and there was a time that... Oh, wait, what is this? There we go. It closed at a certain time. And I was like, but what happens if I need to get home after that? And they were like, well, I don't know. The New York City subway runs 24/7. You are never stuck anywhere in the city. But that's also why it's hard to upgrade it, because it's always running. So, and that's also why sometimes there's delays, because they have to find ways to fix it and upgrade it and all that stuff while still running. Really, I never had that issue. My Oyster card covered everything in London. And in the Greek cities with the subway system, we can ride the whole thing, change lines, etc. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, the London subway goes by zones. I found that to be a jarring thing when I got there. Because if you don't know the city, you're like, I don't know how many zones I need to go to. In Uruguay, there's Punta del Este, and Montevideo's architecture is beautiful. But if you come to Uruguay, go to the countryside, hang out with the gauchos, and eat a barbecue with a fire pit. Oh, that sounds delicious. That is absolutely what I will be doing. Oh my god, look at this, is still going. Everybody loves me. Wait till I build them a subway system that runs 24/7. It costs more only if you want to go to the airport. Not New York. In New York, it costs you the same fare. $2.90. Oh, we got the Twitch bot. I mean, I have many complaints about the New York City subway. Every New Yorker does. But it's also just kind of a marvel that it's the great connector of the city. And it's really quite amazing compared to other cities. Subway, I say this because it's just something I love to do when I go to a city, is see their subway system. But I really like historic cities. The architecture in these places is usually beautiful and preserved. Besides, we history lovers, trained by Paradox, like to read. Yeah. Yeah, that's what, I mean, that's the thing that's interesting, though, about the United States, is all the architecture is fairly new if you, like, compare it to other places in the world, because we're fairly new. You know, we might, we might need to buy some shares in somebody, maybe. I forget exactly how you do that.
In one ear, out the other.
Aw. Chance of success 0. You made some good points, so maybe you are correct here. I still remain convinced that the New York station shouldn't look third world, and people shouldn't defecate in public. Also, the National Guard, yeah. Yeah. That's a fairly new thing, though, the National Guard. Well, first of all, Trump hasn't sent the National Guard to New York yet. And I say yet, because I am sure he will. at some point. I'm actually kind of honestly, I'm actually kind of surprised he hasn't yet. But he will, and we are not going to take kindly to it. In terms of defecating, I mean, every city in the world, every major city in the world has a homeless problem. So you can find somebody defecating. Every major city has somebody defecating in it. If you don't, you're not a major city. Respect New York Spider-Man, Lizard. That's right. Spider-Man is from here, so is Captain America. Technically, Batman, because we all know what Gotham City really is. Wasn't the National Guard deployed in the subway? What are these troopers? Oh, no, the governor of New York had stationed police officers in the subway. So there was that issue for a while, which also was ridiculous. Having police officers stationed in subway stations is a waste of resources and accomplishes nothing. But there hasn't been National Guard. Trump too. No, Trump hasn't deployed into New York, which is such a crazy statement to say. Trump hasn't deployed anybody into a and then insert city name. But no, it hasn't happened in New York yet. But it will, I'm sure, at some point. Ham, if you left New York, where would you go? Do you look like a beach guy? Or are you a lover of cold weather and hot chocolate? Ohio and Florida, choose your destination. Definitely not Florida, because yeah, I'm not a beach guy. I grew up by a beach. I grew up by the Jersey Shore. So I guess I just got beached out in my youth. Yeah, I'm more of a cold and hot chocolate kind of guy. Wherever I move to in the world, there needs to be a winter. I can't live anywhere where there's not a cold winter. Both suck. No, Trump too. He's New Yorker as well. Nope. Nope, not anymore. He left New York and he is now a resident of Florida. New Yorker no more. He abandoned New York. Florida sounds better than Ohio to me, but my cousin is in Cleveland. I don't know. Florida politics is getting a little crazy. A little too extreme for me. So I don't know about Florida. Though it is a beautiful state. I wish I could up. What do we really have a lot of? Oh yeah, you know, these sails. Oh yeah, can we build any ships yet? Like, oh no. Okay, we gotta build these gun guys. Yeah, we kind of want to keep everything over here, right? In Uruguay, we have winter. Although it doesn't snow, it gets to a pleasant 5 degrees. But it starts in July. At Christmas, it's hot and peachy. Yeah. I was about to say, it's like the opposite from here. Yeah, see, I need a cold... I am a big Christmas person. I need a cold winter Christmas. I wouldn't want to live in the States. Maybe DC only because it looks European enough. That's so funny that you think of DC in that way. I would... It's, I don't know. Yeah, DC is interesting. I mean, it's a nice city to visit. There's some issues with living there though, because they don't get a say in the federal government, and so I think a lot of funding doesn't get sent to the city itself. I wouldn't build them by the coast in case you get invaded. Oh, yeah, yeah. You meant like the gun thing. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking more that it'll transfer the goods quickly, but yeah, I need the input goods for it to be close by. Go to Quebec City. It's French, European, charming, and guillotine free. Montreal is a beautiful city. I really loved Montreal. My wife went to college in Montreal, and so she loves it there. Very interesting subway in Montreal. Notably, the subway trains have rubber tires, which I always found kind of funny. It was a beautiful city, though. But wait, traditional U.S. architecture is English, therefore European, or not? I mean, yeah, definitely like a European-inspired architecture. But if you look at a lot of like government buildings, especially in DC, you know, they're definitely inspired by that like Greco-Roman, you know, like Republican style of architecture. But generally, I would say, yeah, it's more like an English-inspired architecture. I like New York, but I prefer to wake up seeing Lincoln's Memorial from the window rather than defecating hobos. Yes, I'm still running this joke. You'll never hear the end of it. Oh my god. Well, my friend, I'm sorry to tell you, but Washington, D.C. is going to be a lot like that. Washington, D.C. is... got it's a major homeless problem as well. And there's basically like two parts of DC. There's the place where all of the like where the capital is, but nobody lives there other than like the president and the vice president. And then there's the place where people live. And so I remember I dated this girl one time who used to work in DC, and she said that like everybody commuted to the same place, so they would have these massive carpools that would go, because nobody actually lives in or around all of those like national monuments and any of the Capitol buildings and stuff like that. It's all commuting in from the residential section outside of that. So I'm sorry to tell you, there's no place that you're going to wake up seeing the Lincoln Memorial unless you're sleeping on the street and defecating on the street for the night. That's the only way you're going to wake up and see the Lincoln Memorial. But the Lincoln Memorial is a beautiful thing. Brownstone, yes. Neoclassical, yes. Skyscraper, nah. Wait. What do you mean, skyscraper? Are you saying we don't have skyscrapers in the U.S.? He notices the train tires. I started an argument with a train altruist. I am doomed. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I'm very big on subways, and that was the thing I noticed. It was kind of funny to me, but at the same time, you know, it has its merits. It's a very quiet station. There's not as much like screech of tires and stuff like that. So it is kind of cool. Although you do sometimes get that like smell of rubber when a train takes like a hard break. Imagine if Ham woke up in a room he didn't know. He realized he had become British, and breakfast would be baked beans and a slice of tomato. A nightmare. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't mind waking up and being in England. But yeah, if my breakfast was baked beans and a tomato, yeah, that would be a nightmare. I was replying to reverse you that, oh, brownstone and neoclassical are European. Oh, but not skyscrapers. Oh, I see. We don't do that, and when we do, it's outside the city proper limits. Yeah, major American cities are all about the skyscraper. Oh, I just noticed this is a beer festival. Residents are provided with schnapps, beer, rum, and champagne. Oh, I see. They're going to be doing this for 25 real minutes. But alcohol production is skyrocketing. Excellent. Doesn't that one person... Didn't she need schnapps at one point? No. Not anymore. Oh, no, she offers schnapps. I would like to find the new world in this episode, actually. Can they stop with the parade thing? I guess not. Yeah, nope. I guess we won't hear it if I don't zoom in. I'm sorry, I'm just so good at building a city that my people love me so much. Alright, so
Stand to attention for the boss.
we have a lot of bricks. Does anybody want bricks? So that guy wants potatoes. Sausages, bread, and soap.
Pamphlets, pickets, healthy honest protest.
Breakfast has to be something with substance. Either some kind of fried food like bacon or something sweet. And sour like pancakes. Beans are for dinner. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get the beans thing. I have to say, I don't quite get the beans thing. Here we go. Okay, so grain. Malt house. Hops. So now we might start building up on the other island. So maybe we finally start building over here. Last time you built this city, you were impeached. Oh yes, so yes, you seem to be doing better now. You might take a liking to snow and cold, but snow and cold doesn't take a liking to you. Ooh, I would say touche, but you are right. You are unfortunately very right. Frostpunk 2 certainly did whip my butt. You guys have breakfast? I have a coffee and cigarettes. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't always have breakfast. It depends. Sometimes I just have coffee. No cigarettes. But sometimes it's just coffee. Other times it'll be like a sandwich with like an egg that I cook up and a slice of cheese. Zinc. Limestone, copper, iron. Okay. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Head of Kellogg said on TV, so it's true. It is, though. It is actually one of the most important meals of the day. And I should eat breakfast more. I just sometimes... The problem is sometimes when I wake up, I'm just not hungry. Like, I need coffee, but I'm not hungry. That's my problem. Alright, so let's start building up here. Build our marketplace. The head of Kellogg's become cook for me. They do not have the willpower to leave bed most days. Well... Also, the head of Kellogg's was kind of crazy. You look at,
I could simply go to press.
He made cornflakes, and I swear this is 100% true. He made cornflakes because he thought it would help people stop doing the thing that where they give themselves pleasure. That is why he made it. And so he was a kooky guy. Hey, LaPlace, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Maximo. Yeah, that guy that you recall now. That is bad for kids. If you came to Uruguay, you would have bread with cheese and ham and a perfect coffee in the day, and in the afternoon, a freshly made barbecue. Actually, sounds like the American South. Hey, when are we going to have ham cooking? Yeah, making a cake. Yeah, do a cooking stream. I see that is something people do. You know, they give you, there's these like, what do you call it? These like sponsorship things you can do with stream elements, and one of them is always a what is it called? HelloFresh. And you get like extra money if you do like a stream where you're making a HelloFresh meal. I'm always like, I should try doing that. Uruguay is the American South. Yeah, true. Very true. It is the American South. I guess I should specify the United States South. It sounds like.
Peddlers say there's nowhere to take it.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? We're just gonna relocate that. And then we'll just extend this road. And then, yeah, there we go. Yeah, do you have a subway in Indonesia? Tell us about it. That is the topic of the day. The plateau countries have a lot of things related to meat and barbecue because of the Jesuit missions. The Jesuits brought methods of preparing meat to eat. Oh, with the indigenous people of the Platinian. Oh, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. But yeah, also interesting. You know, I actually did not know barbecue was such a big thing in Uruguay. We have only one in Jakarta. How is it? Do you like the Jakarta subway? Tell us, tell us. That is our topic of discussion. Alright, so we need to make some hops. One, two, three. Right, 1, 2. Now we'll put this here.
We're taking every care.
All right. Oh, we don't want to get too close to that. All right, there we go. We got a hops farm. Oh my god. Alright, let's just build a warehouse and be done with it. Actually, yeah, we'll put it over here, because eventually we'll want to put a mine over there. Do people defecate there just like they do in New York? But we have a functional, on-time, and well-beloved railway system and company, just like New York City. No, it's very clean, unlike New York City. But I'll ask you this, does it run 24/7? Or does it close at a certain point? That should make Hamcut's very envious. To be honest, barbecue should be a big deal everywhere in the world. I challenge you to name a situation that's worse with barbecue. 1. It might be exotic, weird, but worse, never. This is true. You make an excellent point. I mean, it's very true. Nobody's upset when barbecue's around. He's having a Subway jelly sandwich for breakfast. I absolutely am not. See, that's the thing. When you're a New Yorker, you don't need to be jealous of other Subways, because you have the best Subway. Like, I don't want to offend Americans, but our train is working and our station is very clean. 15 years ago.
Slow my runaway train.
What? I'll be quiet, Betty. 15 years ago, our railway is bad as India, but now we are on par with Shanghai and Tokyo. 24/7 railway system with first-class service. Ah, it's 24/7. See? So now, that is one of the best subway systems in the world. Ham played Minecraft. You know, it's funny you mention that. It's funny you mention that. So my kids play Minecraft, and I see it peripherally from when they're playing. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And recently, my wife found this video on YouTube by Ish. That 1,000-player society experiment that he did in Minecraft. And he made this like 2.5-hour YouTube video about it. And I have to say, it's captivating. If you guys have not watched this yet, you absolutely need to watch this video. It's, I don't know the exact name of it, but it's from, the name of the channel is Ish. That's the name of the person. And it's a 1,000-player society experiment. And we ended up watching the whole thing. I was like, when my wife first said it, I was like, oh, okay, Minecraft, sure. And I was just like blown away by it. And now I kind of want to kind of try out Minecraft. My kids would love it if I started playing that. Damn, Jakarta's going places. Is that subway? It's our whole railway. Oh, railway system station. We also have a problematic bullet train. But was it worth it? Yes. Oh, interesting. What's problematic about it? See, the one thing that does suck in the U.S. is our train system. Our national train system is not the best. Trains generally run slow in the U.S. because they have to run through residential places, and there's like speed limits on them.
We loves you, we does.
Alright, so can we send... Do we have enough
Why so
fish? How much extra fish? Ooh, we actually are short on fish. Okay. I wonder if we can just overfish here. Greece has more high-speed rail than the U.S., which is not really a flex because even Uzbekistan has more high-speed rail. Yeah, it's true. High-speed rail is not a priority here in the U.S., and I don't know why. A lot of people are really starting to call for it. I've always wondered if it had something to do with the airline industry, that they don't want a competitor like that. Oh guys, I have to go. Something happened here. Good life. Oh man, I hope everything's okay. Good luck. Good luck. Hope all is well. We'll see you next time. How can America built on train and forget about it? I mean, exactly. I have no idea. I don't know. I absolutely do not know. It's so crazy. And I've always wondered if it has something to do with like not wanting competition for the airline industry, because
Flagship ready for
it
order.
doesn't make sense. In general, railway systems across the country are just really bad. No, not that. No, I want to put something on here. No, no, no.
Flagship at your service.
Sign a patrol route in the trade route menu. I thought I can just like put stuff on the boat. Oh, there it is, transfer menu. That's what I was looking for. So give him like 10 of that. Put about 20 schnapps on there. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we need. All right, and then take that over here.
On our way.
He has everything already. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, if you make trains along the west and east coast as public transportation. Yeah. I don't know. Airline, cars, etc. Yeah, exactly. We also have airlines, but we use train because we built our infrastructure on public basic sense. Not for profit, but as commodity option outside of airway. Yep. Our top speed train is 420 kilometers. We also produce our own trains and sell it. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the train system in the United States. There's only, it's funny given how the United States operates. There's only one rail company, and it's nationally owned. The government owns it.
Coordinates plotted.
And it's just purposely kind of run poorly. Now, there's one high-speed train that runs up and down the east coast of the United States. It runs from Boston to Washington, D.C., and it makes stops in New York and Philadelphia along the way. But it also doesn't run like it runs every day, but it doesn't run regularly. So I think there's like one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and like one at night, and I think that's it. Otherwise, you're taking a regular rail service. That being said, I want to take like a long distance rail trip. I've always wanted to, but I've never been able to do it.
You look idle. Do this, would you?
A destruction quest.
Don't keep me waiting.
Ah, what? I'm gonna lose my boat. I'm not gonna do this quest. Can I, like, be like, nah, sorry, man.
Don't give me fimble fambles.
That guy's annoying. I want to go to the Trans-Siberian from Petersburg. Yeah. To Vladivostok. Yeah. I would love to do that one. No, I always wanted to do a long distance train ride here in the US, the company Amtrak, you can get one of those like private rooms on the train where you have like your own room with the bathroom in it and like the seats roll down into beds. I've always wanted to do like a trip that takes like 24 hours or something and get one of those. Maybe because some of it owned by private sector and the government doesn't do anything about it. Yeah, I mean, but it kind of seems like they purposely trying to make it bad. That's kind of the impression that you always get from it. And I have no idea why. In Alexandria to Lake Victoria through the Nile. Yeah, that would be a cool one to do. Yeah, Trans-Siberian takes days, if not weeks. Yeah. I mean, you're basically crossing the horizontal distance of the of Asia right there. Oh, close. Oh, we need 5. Okay, we need 5 more farmers. That's the problem here. All right.
That's it. Show those greasy plebs what for.
Do not like that guy's voice. Yeah, basically crossing Asia's biggest landmass. Yeah, exactly. So that sounds kind of fun. You know, I should build... Yeah, because we got a ton of wool. I should just transfer wool back and forth to the new island. I just increased.
You keep us on our toes, master.
I do, yeah. Oh man, these guys are still going. We still got 3.5 minutes left of it. Basically, I prefer train more than plane, even though I use planes more than trains. I mean, I definitely use planes. I mean, that's what's crazy is that, like, in the U.S., I think it would be difficult to find somebody that travels by train, like, long distance regularly. Now, there are people who travel by, like, there's a train, a New Jersey Transit train. So, like, if you live in New Jersey, you would take the train regularly into New York. So, but that's like a local commuter train. So basically every state has its own train system. And then there's one national train system, Amtrak, that'll take you from like one city to the other. But it doesn't do every city. And it's been nationalized, so nobody else can make like a national train system. Hey, Tusto, hello, hello. What game is this? This is Anno 1800. So, a little old at this point. But basically we're playing this in anticipation for the new Anno 117 that's coming out in November. But this was a fantastic Anno game. I think many people consider this like the best Anno game, but I don't know if that's going to be like a hot button topic.
What brings you here, master?
What brings me here? I'm wondering where all my fish are. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we need clothes. is a Victorian city builder. Yep, basically. So yeah, it's like a Victorian themed like version of Anno, and so yeah, you're basically building a city. But essentially, you're just like, it's like a series of islands, which I think all Anno games pretty much are. And so we control 2 islands here. So this is our secondary settlement. And then this is our main settlement right here. Oh, alright. So, time to take another break. So we're going to do quick 90 seconds. And then we'll be right back. All right, and we're back, Uh, yeah, company the indie simulator, basically. Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. Yep, that's basically what we have going on here. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's like, so like, unlike Victoria 3, this is much more like a city builder, as you can see. We're more like zoomed into the city here. But deals mainly with like production chains and stuff. So like, we have our iron mine here. And everything kind of runs in real time, which is why to pause the game, you have to actually pause time passing in the game. And so, yeah, like oh, well, this is a bad example now, but we have this iron mine, and it produces iron over a specified period of time here. And then a little cart will take it to where it needs to go. So this makes iron. Then the furnace will take it and make steel.
Ceasefire has ended.
And then the steel works right here will take the steel and make steel beams. Which apparently we have a lot of right now. Can we sell that? Is there anybody looking to buy that? You know, Miss Jurgensen, this trade rights deal I have with you is turning out to be useless. Why does this guy dislike me so much?
You know, I almost smiled. I never needed any help from anyone.
Yeah, everybody just kind of hates me. Damn. What can we build that will utilize that stuff? Oh yeah, we are building those weapons. Oh, we got plenty of those now. Okay. So we need some like gunships to protect ourselves here. So make a gunboat. And then we can make another schooner. Yeah, make us 2 gunboats. You can kind of watch them do it here. Alright. Now we need these guys to make us some hops over here so we can start making beer. I wonder if we should just put the whole beer operation over here. No, because we need workers. So we should do the brewery on the other island. And workers. Okay, yeah. So mainly we're just doing the hops farm. So let's set up... We can actually set up a trades thing now. Although, wait. Yeah, chartered routes. Hire a ship and charter route by clicking the create route. I wonder if it's... Yeah, see, I don't want to hire somebody to do that. I'll just have my schooner do it. So, do this island. Pick up all the hops.
An explosion in one of your factories.
In the schnapps distillery, that doesn't sound good. Then take it and unload there.
Flagship ready for orders.
It doesn't seem to be doing anything, but let's see what happened over here. This is stupid. Why do I have to mobilize them? Why don't they just, like, do this stuff on their own? Imagine living in the Victorian era. I know, right? No, thank you. Dying of tuberculosis and
The fire has been vanquished.
no guarantee of indoor plumbing.
Ship constructed.
Alright, let's rebuild that. How do I repair the building? Oh, I guess it's kind of like self-repairing. Okay. Yeah, it seems like an interesting time period.
She's small, but she's keen.
But yeah, I definitely would not want to be living there. Ah, that's kind of cool. Little gunboat. Now the other thing I want to build is some mounted guns. Right here. And right here. So if people come in, they're gonna get shot. It depends. If you were an aristocrat, it would be coffee, desserts, and fun. Yeah, if you were a peasant, it would be work, farm, and toothless wife. And civil war in the USA, yeah. Gee, when you put it that way, it still makes me not want to do it. Yeah, unfortunately, right? But it does seem like an interesting time period. Alright, so is our other boat... Okay, what did we do wrong with our trade route? What's wrong with it? Oh, we never assigned a ship. Yeah, we're stupid. Okay, so this guy is going to bring us our hops. So now we need to make the malt. Ooh, we're running low on people, though.
One final look.
Really gonna write that many bad things? City becomes uglier. Krasny has let itself go. What? And then the explosion. I can't be having this stuff.
Ship constructed.
This change is absolutely marvelous. Yes. Mum's the word.
Alright, let's do it. War must be one of the worst experiences there is. I hope we never experience it. Yeah. Yeah, right? Especially like at this time period, it seems like there was such a drastic change in war. When you think about, that's what they say about like World War One, right? Is that like you had people with guns still fighting against people like on horses. And so that like the fear factor that soldiers had must have been massive. Like the things that you're not like accustomed to seeing that you would like be up against. Yeah, look at that. That looks nice, doesn't it? Some trees. What's the problem? Full output.
No space left here.
What's this?
I need help with me lowly troubles.
What a beautiful day for a wedding. Take one of them photographs of the happy couple at the church, will ye? Alright.
Fancy making hay while the sun shines, master?
So I gotta take a photo of a wedding? Where is it? Oh, at the church, okay. Why can't I go lower than this?
We'll gather and toast your elf.
It looks great. He really struggles with taking a photo. Yeah, because I wanted to get like street level. It seemed like everybody wasn't centered well on that. You know, there's a way that you're supposed to be able to like walk around the city. Forgot about that. How do you do that? Nope, none of this. Yeah, let me look it up. I want to do that. Oh, Control Shift R. Okay. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Police station. Oh no, there's a police station. There's our church. Here's our peasant housing. Oh, look at that little doggy. And there's Eel Mountain. Milk and cream. Gotta have that. Where's our paved road? I want to get to our paved road.
They do go up fast.
Man, chocolate is so good. I'm eating a bar right now. It's white chocolate filled with dark chocolate. Ooh, white chocolate filled with dark chocolate. That's interesting. I've never had something like that, actually. White chocolate is so good. I don't know why. Why I feel like it's so much different, but white chocolate is so good. Oh yeah, here's like the better houses.
No accidents in weeks.
Look at this. Looking like manor lords here. The sail factory.
Then he leered to one side and dropped his snuff all over the...
Good enough. There we go. Always try everything as if it were the first time. Well said, well said. Do you like chocolate or desserts in general? I do. I try to have them when I can, but I actually have I'm a type 1 diabetic. So, but I'm on an insulin pump, so the things I can have in my diet are actually much more diverse than before I had an insulin pump. So I can have stuff like that, but just not very often.
Grease the wheels, Governor.
Another photography quest. Me mates and I have shared so many moments working at the brick factory. Jimmy's birthday is coming up, and there would be no gift more perfect than a framed picture of the place that brought us together.
Help us out, will you, boss?
Photograph the brick factory. Everyone does, but I prefer a good meal over desserts. How'd you get diabetes? I mean, it's type 1 diabetes, so if you can figure that out, you let me know. Nobody really knows how you get type 1 diabetes. It's an autoimmune disease. Basically, your immune system attacks your pancreas cells and kills them. I eat a lot of sweets. I should be more moderate, but it's not my fault that chocolate is good and provokes me. This is true. It is the universal delicacy for ages. Yeah, that sucks then. How are insulin prices over there? It depends on your insurance company, to be honest. I've had some insurances where it was a nightmare. A real nightmare. Not just a nightmare for price, but also just being able to get it. Right now I'm on my wife's insurance, and she actually has a really good insurance. So I haven't had to worry about it for some time. But there have been for many times in my life that I had to. It's always been a struggle to get it because insurance companies don't want to pay for it or cover it, at least, because I still pay for it, but they don't want to cover it. And so always has made it a struggle. Make it a habit not to eat it. I almost never eat desserts nowadays. Yeah, for me, I don't eat it as much either. Because for me it's always kind of like I gotta weigh. Like, do I feel like do I feel like taking insulin for this and possibly having high blood sugar because I didn't calculate it right, or like, is it worth that, or am I just not gonna have it? And more times than not, the answer is it's not worth it. Oops. Alright, so the malt house. So this doesn't lower attractiveness, so... I feel like I am not designing this city well. I don't particularly like what I'm doing, but it'll work for now. So there's the malt house. And then the brewery. There we go.
Use like part of the family.
Oh yeah, the whole fish thing. Well, we should build another fishery. I mean, we have the people for it. Why not? Though I feel like I should be, like, upgrading. Oops. I guess I don't necessarily know how I would do that. Yes, I should eat healthier, like lettuce. No, lettuce doesn't taste like anything. Tomatoes, but I don't like tomatoes. So just bread and water. Yeah, actually, I'm not a big fan of tomatoes either, but I do love a good salad. Although, why is it that salads made at a place always taste so much better than the salads I make for myself? I never quite get that. I don't eat either of those things, like proper meals: meat, pasta, rice, legumes, fish. Oh, I love fish. I would eat fish every meal if I could. But that also wouldn't be good for you. Alright, let's see. Oh, hey, this guy's starting to like us. That's
Thank
good.
you for all you've done.
Wow. People are just giving me money now?
Don't mind a bit foraging.
Oh, so this guy's waiting for hops. Okay, let's make... let's make the framework knitters. What are we saying they need? Oh. See, I don't know. I feel like... Do I want to build that? I feel like I have enough over on this island. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at our trade route. Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe that's... So, you don't have to wait for 50 hops. Wait for, like... $15. Then over here, I want you to load up, like... Maybe... 15 of that. Yeah, we'll say like 15 all around. And then... Go back here. And unload. Oh, hey, Irfan. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you? Probably has way more salt and oil. Oh, yeah, is that what it is? Maybe way more salt. I mean, yeah, if something had way more salt and oil, I probably would like it more. And more than 2 ingredients, yeah. Maybe that's true as well. Yeah, I do generally... I guess my salads just have, like... other than the lettuce... Some shredded carrots, some green onions. If I have a radish, I'll put that in there. And then if I have it, I love putting broccoli in a salad. I really do. So if I have it, I'll put that in there. But generally, yeah, it's usually just like the shredded carrots and the green onion. True, have you ever had those times where you have a recipe, you follow it exactly the same way with the same ingredients, bought in the same place, and the taste is different? Yeah, all the time. All the time, because, you know, this is a thing my wife makes fun of me for. When I make something, if there's a recipe for it, I follow the recipe exactly as written, with the exact ratios and stuff. And my wife makes fun of me, because she says, like, you know, you kind of just eyeball it. You know, you just kind of, like, it tells you how much to put in. You kind of know how much that is, so you just kind of eyeball it and put it in. I'm like, no. It's a recipe. You got to do it as they tell you to do it. That's what I believe.
Flagship at your service.
Oh, is this going to wait for 50 now? Because that was the previous... Oh, yeah. No, don't... Yeah. Build more piers or open island options to change their loading or unloading behavior. Wait to unload. You people cook. I mean, I do order in sometimes, but it's expensive. So yeah, we do cook. I enjoy cooking, actually. Or I enjoy following a recipe. I'm not somebody who enjoys like, oh, here, go make a meal. Just go look at what's in the kitchen and figure something out. Like, I hate that. There we go. Yeah, now go. There was a time I made a dessert here at home, but I added salt by mistake. Oh, no, yeah. I think everybody has done that at least once in their life. Unforgettable night. My daughter did that. My daughter's been getting into, like, baking, but she doesn't quite know how to bake, so we let her just throw things together, throw it in the oven. And so far things have turned out actually pretty good. So it turns out fine. But yeah, she did that one time with some cookies she was making. She threw some salt in there. Poor kid, instead of sugar. Salty caramel. Yeah, that must have been how they discovered that. But changing the subject, who the hell goes to McDonald's and orders a salad? Well, first of all, they don't have a salad anymore. Let me tell you, though, when I was a kid, or when I was in high school, McDonald's had these things called salad shakers. And they were great. They were a great way to eat like a salad just like on the go. Because they came in like almost what looked like a large drink cup with one of those like domed plastic tops. And so you would put, they called it a salad shaker because you would put the dressing in there, you'd put the top in, and then you would just shake it up like this. And since it was like a cup, you could just like hold it like this and eat the salad from the cup. It was a great like to-go thing. So they used to be great. And Wendy's has well, I won't say great. Wendy's has good salads. Why the U.S. Cake and cookies are very sweet. I don't know. Are they sweeter than other places? Again, I don't eat a lot of cake and cookies just because I can't really. But is that a thing? Ours are like generally much sweeter. Alright, there we go. And now we have some wool. Now we're building an economy between two islands here.
Look sharp, the governor's here.
So, are we making beer? Do we have beer now? Nope.
Wish I had something to complain about.
Ooh. Alright, we can upgrade somebody to an artisan. Let's do it. Hey, Joe. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. How are you, my friend? Fat people addicted to sugar that is on par with cocaine. And complete lack of food regulation. Now, I've tried making burgers at home, but I always give up. Making a blend from scratch requires experience that I don't have. Oh, yeah, like a meat patty blend. Yeah, I don't really make burgers at home, I guess. That's true. I never really thought about that. Yeah, my friend said Dunkin' Donuts is very, very... Oh, yeah. Very, very sweet. Compare him with eating donuts here. Well, I feel like even their coffee is sweet. I'm not a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts, to be honest with you. First of all, I hate Dunkin' Donuts coffee. They kind of like water down the coffee. And the donuts are... When my kids want a treat, they always want like a Dunkin' Donuts donut. And the donuts are very kind of... They're fine. They're fine. I mean, I'm not like a donut connoisseur, but they're not like anything fancy. They're what like a basic donut would be, but yeah, they are very sweet. But then again, to me, everything tastes very sweet. Like, because I'm diabetic, I can only have diet soda. And so, if I ever, like, taste a regular soda, like, because my whole life I've just had diet soda, regular soda tastes so sweet. Like, I feel like I can feel the sugar on my teeth. Stop the stream now and start watching food comparison between the US and the EU. If you are unaware of this, you'll be shocked. Well, I know there's a big difference. I know there's a big difference, especially like in portion size. I know in the US we have like outrageous portion sizes. I didn't know though, like our sweets, like our pastries, were sweeter. Are you in the ham cord? I'm a millennial and I gave up trying to figure out Discord. Thank you. It's too confusing. I just stick to Reddit. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. My streaming life has made me have to figure out Discord. And I too am a millennial. An elder millennial. And Discord I find just so I'm getting it now, but yeah. Discord was not a thing I knew much about. So I feel you on that one. So you're not Joe Bro in the ham cord. How's coffee much sweeter than donut? Are we using the same coffee bean roaster? I don't think so. No, but it's just Dunkin' Donuts. Like you go to Starbucks, and it's not sweet. I don't know what Dunkin' Donuts does. But their coffee just tastes like sweet and also a little watered down at the same time. I don't like it. Skip the portion size. I'm talking about sugar. I'm talking about beef inappropriate for human consumption. I'm talking about bread that is classified as cake in the EU. Yep, that is true. That is true. That's interesting, though. I didn't realize that, at least in pastries, that we use more sugar. Because I feel like, at least in terms of pastries are sweet. But, I mean, yeah, food in the U.S. is, Yeah, we have some issues with food here. I brew coffee as a hobby. Oh, cool, since coffee here is quite cheap. But the sweets coffee here is very bitter. Yeah, see, I like a good bitter coffee. I don't like sweet coffee. I don't put any, like, sweeteners in my coffee at all. Have you ever ordered a Coca-Cola in Algeria? No, I have not. Be way too... Well, I've never ordered... I haven't ever ordered it because I can't have regular soda. Yeah, Mexican Coca-Cola that we get here. That's an interesting thing too. I've heard. I've never had it because I can't. I'll retract my friend invitation then. Oh no, you friended the wrong Joe. So you're not aware that Coca-Cola abroad is nothing like what you drink? Oh no, I am actually aware of that. I know we have like a different Coke here, and mainly because they use high fructose corn syrup here because of the whole corn industry. But we're well aware that Coke is different elsewhere. Like Joe said, they do import Coca-Cola from Mexico. We call it Mexican Coke, and it's much different. Most of the American food companies, when they sell overseas, have to make different things. Like it is. What's actually interesting is like the McDonald's menu in other countries, because they kind of tailor it to food in that country. I have a neighbor that cultivate coffee beans. Oh my god, that's amazing. There are more coffee shops than food courts. That's my kind of place. I love a good coffee shop. I'm a big coffee drinker. And so, I love coffee. Oh, I don't eat McDonald's. I eat Goodies. I don't know what that is. I also don't like McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's. Although my kids love a Happy Meal. So as a when they're getting something special, or it's like, oh, you guys are really good, or today's a special day, what do you guys want to get as a treat? It's always McDonald's. And I'm always like, ugh, could it be anything else? Not even the fast food thing. I'll take another fast food place. I'm just not big on McDonald's. Greece and Belgium are two countries that I can think of that we are spanking McDonald's. Oh, wait. Yeah, that we are spanking McDonald's. Wait, what do you mean by that? Goodies are our domestic chain. They have shops abroad, but not in the U.S., if I can recall. Oh, interesting. I'd love to try it. Greek fast food, that would be amazing. Greece has such great food. Anytime you go somewhere in the U.S. and you can find a good Greek restaurant, that is my place. Although I prefer Arabica beans than Robusta. Not very bitter. See, I don't know enough about coffee to really speak on the difference of the beans. I just know I like a good, like, bitter dark roast. That's kind of my thing. I like a good bitter dark roast. Alright, we're going to make another schooner so we can start selling some of this soap. We also have domestic pizza chains like L'Ortigiano, Pizza Fan, and Pizza Roma. I feel like I've heard of Pizza Fan and Pizza Roma, but I can't think of what it looks like. But Pizza Fan definitely sounds very familiar.
It's important to be true to oneself.
Goodies is like a knockoff Panera Bread who serves burgers and beers. Oh, interesting. I love Panera Bread, actually. Goodies would not sell in the U.S. The burgers do not look appealing. Oh. Yeah, burgers is like... Just as like, as I said, New Yorkers are snobs about pizza. I think in general, in the U.S., we are snobs about burgers. If you want to sell a burger in the U.S.,
Perfect, but what is?
if you want to sell a burger in the U.S., it either has to be a very good burger or a burger made in 30 seconds. If your burger takes 10 minutes to make and it's average, we don't want it. We'll take a bad burger, but it has to be made very quickly. Pizza Fan has gone abroad, that's why. Ah, okay. Yeah. Maybe actually it was in Montreal. Maybe that was where I saw Pizza Fan. You'd be amazed how different roast temperature, grind, and type of bean will affect the bitter and caramel and coffee. Oh man, amazing. Yeah, like I have one of those coffee pots that we use in the morning that has a built-in grinder. And so we just pour the beans in there and then it grinds it and then brews it. And I think you can specify some options about how it grinds it. If you can afford $2,800, you can afford a plane ticket to Greece to try for yourself. Every ingredient is much tastier and better. McDonald's is inferior. McDonald's is not the example of the American burger. That's a fast food burger. There are restaurants in the U.S. that their specialty is a burger. There's some amazing burgers in the U.S. I have my bar here that I go to is like my home base. They make some great burgers. Oh my god, amazing. Burger King is also inferior. I can't talk for other chains. Wendy's, for example, is popular, they say. Wendy's is definitely the best burger. But those are fast food chains. See, that's what I mean. Like, those are burgers made in like 30 seconds. So that's the thing with the US. You either need to make a burger in like 30 seconds for us, or you need to make a very good burger. So like, there's burgers at restaurants in the US, and they're great, and they need to be. Or you need to be a fast food chain and just give me my burger quickly. But don't sit there and take like 10 minutes to make my average burger. Yes, Greek bands are now in Canada. Toronto has many of our coffee shops, for example, like McKell and Coffee Island. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get to go to Toronto when I did my Canada trip. We only had enough time to do... We did Montreal because we had to. Because my wife went to college and lived there for a period of time, so I needed to see all her old stomping grounds. And then we did Ottawa. I'm comparing our chains with your... Oh, I see. The crappier ones that have gone global. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Okay.
Everyone should work for their corn.
I'm sure there are many great burgers and many small restaurant joints that are amazing and can beat us. Oh, well then in terms of fast food chains, yeah, Red Robin burgers are amazing. I was in Barcelona for a month, and I will say the McDonald's is amazing over there. I love in the US Wendy's and Checkers. Checkers makes a good burger. A sustain quest. I don't know what that is.
Most folk take every chance they get.
I find it ironic that Americans and other people's food. Wait, I find it ironic that Americans like other people's food, but don't want them in America. Yeah, I know. Yep. Isn't that interesting? Yes, McDonald's is somehow is better abroad. Yeah, but that's the thing. McDonald's, they also alter the menu based on the place you're in. Like, what was it? I heard like McDonald's in India like has like some type of Indian cuisine on the recipe. And then there was somewhere else that they had something interesting like that. Don't like Mexico, but #1 fan of Taco America. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that interesting, huh? You would think people would be more open to others. We love all the food. You have to remember we're a multicultural place. We have all the foods of the world. Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm gonna make a trade route here. The African Queen. Oh wait, no. First, go here and load up some soap. Let's start with 25. Then go there and unload it. Alright, let's just do that for now. We'll see how that goes. Italian and Greek are top of the culinary period every year, according to experts. Do you ever watch Green Book? Oh, the movie Green Book? No, I've never seen that one. I know of it, but I've never watched it. Hey, Ham, did you ever play Total War Empire back in the day? No, I've never played the Total War series. I've had many people recommend it to me, and so I really want to try it. But it's just one of those situations where it's like, it's on the long list of games I need to try. But I've heard it's great. Why do you ask? Alright, we need to start pulling in money from other people. Let's get our first...
Being oppressed.
Oh, let's... Oh, we don't have a... Where's our sawmill? Do we even have one? Where is it? Hold on. Do we not have one? Tell me we don't have one. What does it look like? Yeah, I feel like we don't have the sawmill anymore. Whoopsies. Should watch the movie. It's very heartwarming story. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, it won Best Picture at the Oscars, so it's supposed to be pretty good, but yeah, I never got to watch it. It's got two great actors in it at the lead there. It's the truth. We have the best food, honest to God. Indonesia isn't bad either. They rank 7th. It was an amazing series, historically speaking. Oh, cool. So there's some type of historical accuracy to it, because that's kind of cool. I didn't assume that from just like the stuff I see from it on Steam, but that's kind of cool. I mean, that's one of the things I love the most about Paradox games. So now kind of extra incentive to go try it. What about the French? Yeah, what about the French? My first game on Steam, hundreds of hours on the record. I consider it the best Total War game ever to be made, despite the bugs. The map is iconic. The immersion is real. Oh, man. Yeah, see, that's the other thing with Total War. Since I've never really played any of them, when you look on Steam, I'm like, ooh, which one do I start with? Right? So wait, I'm scrolling back up here, because... So, Joe, you say Total War Empire. Okay. So maybe I'll start with that one.
How's about a little gathering indoors?
8th for 2025. French food. Wait, first of all, who's ranking this? Where are the rankings coming from? If they have 5th, it's pretty much biased. French are not bad, but they cannot compare to Greek food, Italian food, even Mexican food. I mean, I love Mexican food. Mexican is like my favorite. It's probably my favorite cuisine. They make great food. Okay, maybe not biased. Joe's talking about Total War Empire. Yeah, yeah. No, I know. Well, I looked... I knew he was talking about Total War. I couldn't remember which Total War he was talking about. It's Creative Assembly, not Paradox. No, I know it's not Paradox. I was saying I like a game that gives historical immersion. And like Paradox does. And so I wasn't aware that the Total War series was like that. Total War Shogun 2 is peak. Oh, okay. Taste Atlas. Oh, okay. I'll look that up. Taste Atlas. Max, I was a total degenerate when I played that game. I had over 1K hours. Amazing. Alright. Alright. I want to get our first artisans here. Like, how did we... I guess we are transferring to the other island. Maybe we transferred too much. Oh my god, yeah, we basically just... Okay. We basically just transferred everything over there. So yeah, stop. Yeah, stop taking that. In fact, now... Load up, like... 25. And then unload it there. And after you do that once, then we'll stop that transfer. Why? Yeah, why are you up so early? I've been many times up early, but today I'm not up early. I'm up late. Alright, the island is starting to come along fairly well. Oh, here we go.
A new milestone.
Alright, we got an artisan. So now we need to make canned food. Just gotta have your sewing machines.
All I ever desired was a place to live and work.
That is not what I was expecting that guy's voice to be. I don't know what I was expecting it to be, but it wasn't that.
Exists after all.
Oh, we can go to the New World now. The New World may have been discovered long ago. There are rumors of an uninhabited and bounteous new archipelago. Okay.
Ship shape.
Oh, you know what?
What's on land is for landfolk. What's at sea is my business.
Yeah, let's hold off on this. You need rations, medicine, faith. Some hunting, it says. Yeah, I think we need to acquire a few more things. In fact, I might build a new ship, because I need these two guys transferring goods back and forth.
Attention for the Admiral.
Because now I can make a better ship. Yeah, like this guy. So let's build up a little bit. Oh, look at these nice little houses. Oh, how Creative Assembly has fallen. Oh wait, you should try Shogun 2. Wait, if only they had made a game during the same period. Wait, which period? Which period do you mean? Alright, what can these guys make now? Windows. We can make windows. Sand mine. Glass makers. Lumberjacks. Okay. Aha, this is why we got the red pepper. A cattle farm. A town hall. Boston War, so 1868. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Alright. I like how people forget the Sengoku Jedi is the same when American Wild West started. Well, that's interesting. Bringing it back around to the very beginning of the convo. Almost forgot the most important, the War of Paraguay. That's right. Oh boy. Well, my friends, I think we've reached the end of today's episode. Tonight's episode, I should say. Made some good progress. We got our third tier of citizen now, our artisans. So we're set up pretty good for the next episode. So the next episode we can actually start preparing to make an expedition to the New World. So that'll be good. So we're moving along in this one. Not a bad game to go back to for a little bit. I'm actually really excited for when Anno 117 comes out. That should be pretty fun. Going into Rome. Do some Roman city building. I also feel like at some point I need to do a stream for Manor Lords. I don't know why this game makes me think of, like... Maybe it's because we were walking around the city. It's like, oh yeah, Manor Lords. We should do that one too. But, yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. So, thanks for hanging out, everybody. So that's it for this week's streams. The next time I'm on will be Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning we'll be doing some more Victoria 3. So we'll be diving back into the Serbia. Mauricio, yeah, thanks for the city building time. Nice break from Victoria. Yeah, I know. A nice break from Victoria 3 while we play a Victorian city builder. Right? Joe, yeah, thank you. You too. You too. Have an amazing weekend. And then we got... I missed the beginning of the convo here. But I'm sure we'll see it on the Discord, on the Hamcord. Oh, wait. I feel like my auto chat wasn't posting anything about the Hamcord. Oh, well. Oh, well. Well, yep. Ciao. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for hanging out, as always. And as always, be awesome. I'll see everybody next time.